guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Halo Halo. I'm Kat Iniba. Summer is finally here, and if you're looking to lose weight, be toned, or just eat healthy, you're in luck because today we have registered dietitian John Canlas. Welcome, John.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
So thrilled to have you here because I have a list of questions, especially because it's summertime.
Yes.
I got to get that beach body ready.
There you go.
Now, there's so many, first question, there's so many diets out there. There's like the Keto, the Paleo, the Intermittent Fasting. What's your take on all of these diets?
So with Keto, Paleo, and then Intermittent Fasting, a lot of those diets do work and they make you lose weight. But the problem with those diets is that they make you lose weight, but the problem is how to maintain it. So even if you've lost 15, 20 pounds, I mean, if you were on a keto diet, could you not eat rice for the rest of your life for the next? I mean, that would be kind of hard, right?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, right. And then most of the foods that we eat as Filipinos, they have a lot of carbs too. Rice, bananas. Just going to Jollibee is a carb fest, and it's just really difficult to not eat carbs for the rest of your life. And keto and paleo and intermittent fasting, they all work in the same premise, which is kind of taking out a food group. So with keto, you're taking out carbs. With paleo, you're taking out dairy and breads and a lot of the carbs too. With intermittent fasting, you're taking out you're only eating in that section of the window. Intermittent fasting is like you don't eat for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours. And the problem with for some people is that if they do decide to do that, if you snack all the time throughout the day, that might be really difficult to stick to. So for those diets, they make you lose weight, but the problem is, one, it's hard for people to stick to it, and two, once you lose the weight, it's hard to maintain it. So I would be very, very cautious in trying to do that. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's hard for me to like give something up forebefore, especially with carbs, right?
I know carbs are good, man.
Yeah, I like that. Now, so instead of, doing these fad diets, is there like I guess a trick or a tip that you would give? Like, are there foods that we should not eat, or what's the tip for you?
So the first thing that I would kind of give to anyone is that I would start little by little. So if you're Filipino, rice is part of our diet, and the best way to approach it is do it little by little. So if I'm eating rice breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I want to start losing weight, I would cut it little by little. So maybe for breakfast, instead of eating 1 cup of rice, I would cut it to half a cup of rice. For lunch, instead of having fried chicken from Jollibee, I would get the grilled chicken or inasal chicken, because that'd be less calories. For dinner, I would have kind of salad or some kind of Filipino vegetable dish. The key is with losing weight and sustaining is little changes added up, because most people, when they try to go dieting, they kind of overwhelm themselves and start doing from like a 0 to 100 very, very fast and doing a big flip, and it's hard to sustain that. As far as foods to eat and foods not to eat, there's really no such thing, because all foods should fit into your plate. The key thing to do is to make sure it fits for you. So for me, since I work out regularly, I might be able to eat a little bit more than someone who doesn't work out as regularly.
Right.
So I can afford to eat more. For someone that's doing an office job and works 9 to 5 and is not as active as much, you don't have enough opportunity to eat as much. You have to control your portion. But as long as you control your portions with a fried chicken and halo and sort, it'll make your weight pretty much stable, and it won't help you gain weight. So big part of maintaining your weight and losing weight is portion control. Actually, that's the biggest part of losing weight.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yes.
I feel like you're describing my diet. Halo, fried chicken. But the portion control is a lot easier for me to do than to say, no, you can't have it at all, because then I want it even more. So I think
Right.
portion control definitely helps.
Right. And I talk to my clients about that the more you restrict yourself with certain foods, the more you crave it because you're restricting it and then like you come to a point where you can't take it anymore and you just
Yeah, that was
exactly
me with ice cream last night.
uh,
I'm like, no ice cream. And then last night I was like, I'm going to do it.
right. Yeah. So portion control and don't restrict any food. That's kind of like
Yeah.
my a big advice that I have tell my clients.
I like that. Now, since we're talking about portion control, is that pretty much like counting calories, paying attention to calorie intake? Is that pretty
Yeah.
much?
So right. So portion control can involve counting calories, but for most people, counting calories is they're not used to it, and
Yeah.
it's really it can really be exhausting, and it really you have to be really knowledgeable in how to do it, and it takes some time to getting used to. So, what I would tell the audience and some people that want to control their diet and start eating healthy is look at your plate. So if you have a plate, about half of those should be vegetables as much as possible. Vegetables or fruits, half, and one fourth should be rice or some kind of starch like potatoes or bread, and the one fourth of that is some type of protein. So fish, chicken, pork, beef, you name it. You want to visualize yourself. So a plate, half of it should be fruits and vegetables. A
Uh-huh.
fourth of it should be carbs like rice and chicken, and the other fourth should be protein, right? Um,
Okay.
Another way to visualize, like if you don't want to do the plate, is use your hands.
Uh-huh.
One portion would be one portion of meat is about this size,
Uh-huh.
right? One portion of rice is this size. So this would be your guide. So
Okay.
and your hand size is proportionally to your height. So the bigger you are, the more you're allowed to eat. So if you're
Wait. So this is how much rice I can eat?
I mean that's the starting point, you know.
Okay. My
I mean,
hand
do you
is too small. No, I agree with you though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean this is a starting point, and if you work out more you can start including these things, you know, bigger
Um,
portions. But if you're not as active, Kat, then you might need to control
yeah.
yourself because eventually it'll you'll start putting on the weight and it'll be a challenge to lose weight.
Mhm.
And same thing with fats too. So fats and sugars, you can use your thumb. Like one
Mhm.
serving is about this size for if you want to have a stick of butter,
Oh,
right? So this
yeah.
would be a portion guide. So for sugar, butter, or for any type of fat, this would be a good guide. So and it's proportionate to your
Okay.
size too. So palms and thumb is a good way
Ah,
to go
I
to
like that tip. I've never heard that before. I love it. And that's so much easier than trying to remember, okay, what did I eat? How many calories is that? And it's just too overwhelming for me.
right. It's a
Yeah.
good visual for a lot of people, and it's very
Yeah.
easy too.
Yeah. Now, you talked about being active, and I know you're also a strength training coach. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's kind of transition into both food and exercise. Is there one that's more important than the other?
That's a trick question because I would say you would need to you would try to do both in a perfect world. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to prioritize when it comes to eat to be healthy, the most important thing is your food because you could that's the easiest way to control the amount of calories you're eating and the amount of calories you're not eating. So for
Oh.
reference, to if you're 150 pounds and you're trying to burn 100 calories, it's going to take you 10 minutes. If you're trying to not eat 100 calories, all it takes is for you to not eat that slice of bread and just put it away, and that takes like less than 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Because once you eat a slice of bread and 100 calories, that's going to take you 10 minutes to burn, and that's not as time efficient if you're short on time. So that's definitely something to consider. But food is always going to be the first because
Mhm.
even if you're not exercising, like going to the gym or running, you can
Mhm.
also be really active in your house. So if you like cleaning or cooking or doing some yard work, Cat, you can always do that. Like if you do that literally nonstop, that'll count as an exercise.
Oh.
um, because that counts because the
Yeah.
amount of physical activity you do is walking, standing, hiking,
Yeah.
gardening, cooking, cleaning. That all counts as a physical activity, and the more you do that,
Okay.
the less you have to do some kind of physical activity like an exercise or going to the gym. So
Yeah.
I would say food
Mhm.
if you're strapped on time, but ideally you want to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. I don't realize how much or how many steps I take ever since I got the iWatch. We live in like up and down, so our bedroom's upstairs, and I didn't realize how many steps I go up and down. And I'll be like, "Wait, I did 3 miles already," and it doesn't even feel like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That is a big part of maintaining your weight. The more active you are,
Uh-huh.
even if you're not going to the gym,
Yeah.
that counts a lot. So if your weight's been stable and you're not exercising, that's the
Yeah.
reason why, Kat.
Well, now I'm like, okay, every 30 minutes or every hour, I'll try and do 10 flights and then come back and do my work. It gets
There you
me,
go.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
this is motivating me.
Mm-hmm. People should be doing that. Like even when we were in the midst of the shelter in place, every
Mhm.
hour you could do maybe some 10 push-ups or 10 squats. That really works. So it really depends on your preference. Like going up and down the stairs for you, that's a
Yeah.
perfect idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, since we're talking about exercise, what about the different types? You know, there's strength training, there's cardio and HIIT, and I even heard PIT the other day, Pilates. What's your take on it?
So all of these exercises have their benefits. You know, for strength training, if your goal is to have more shapely muscles, if your goal is to increase your metabolism, if your goal is to just look good during the summer, a better idea would be strength training. If
Oh,
you want to burn more calories, just burn more calories. Probably the more efficient way is to do cardio. But as I tell my clients, the best exercise is the one you'll stick to.
ah,
So
that's true.
right? So if your best exercise is Zumba, then
Yeah.
you go at it and do Zumba. For some people, it's running. For some people, it's strength training. So
Yeah.
all those exercises, they do have a purpose, and as long as you're physically active, Kat, you're gonna be okay. So running, yoga, Pilates, Zumba, strength training, they're all good. It really depends on the individual. But I will say that since I'm a strength training advocate, I always
Mhm.
go for strength training first because I think it has a lot of benefits
Yeah.
compared to the other exercises. But you know what? At the end of the day, as long as you're moving, as long as you're physically active, that's what counts the most.
Yeah, I heard strength training is really good, especially if you're older. Like if you have, I have like low bone density and my arthritis runs in my family. So they say strength training is really good for that as well.
Right, right. Strength training actually causes your bones to have damage in it, and then once you get damaged, your body adapts to it by building up to it. Like it's like once you strength train, your
Uh-huh.
bones get damaged, and then once you get damaged, your body repairs it to be stronger and thicker.
Oh.
So if you do that over the course of years, your
Uh-huh.
bone gets thicker and thicker actually.
Oh.
So your joints get thicker, your
Uh-huh.
bones get thicker, they get denser, and the more you do it, your bones just get really strong. As part,
Okay.
your bones get strong and your muscles get strong. So there's really no downside to strength training. Even if you just do it 2 days a week, I
Uh-huh.
recommend my clients if they don't if they're not strength training right away, 2 days is a great start to strength training.
Mhm.
It builds your bone density, it raises your metabolism, and it
Mhm.
shapes you. So if you're going to the beach, you want that beach body for men or
Yeah.
women, it really helps.
Oh, now does it matter how long? Like, do I have to do it for an hour, 30 minutes?
What the as long as you work your major muscle groups, so your shoulders, your arms, your
Mhm.
legs. I know for women, legs is a very important thing, right?
And
Legs and your
behind. I'm just kidding.
no, no. For my female clients, you know, they talk
Uh-huh.
about their glute, their butt, and
Yeah.
I show them some exercises and how to do it. And you know, believe it or not, you can make those rounder and bigger. And
I was shocked. Yeah, I see so many people on Instagram that do these exercises and their butts, glutes are very nice and shaped
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just from
It
the
makes
exercises.
yes, yes. It really works. Strength training does wonders for your body.
Yeah.
It'll shape your body, and it's really good for you. So just 2 days, hitting all the major muscle groups shouldn't take you anywhere for more than about 45 minutes twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Not too long. Now, a lot of us are still stuck at home or scared to go to the gym. Do you have like 3 moves that we should or could be doing right now?
Yeah. So for if you're at home and you can't go to the gym for whatever reason, for lower body, one of the best things you can do is a squat. So just squatting
Oh
up and down.
no. Just kidding. Yeah.
Squatting up and down is like probably the best lower body exercise you can do, because it involves so many things: your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your lower leg, and you do it all the time. It feels like you're running, right?
Oh, yeah.
Another thing that you can do if you don't like doing squats is lunges, like walking
Lunges.
lunges.
Uh-huh.
Walking lunges, that also works your legs to a great deal. And then if you do it enough times, you'll feel the burn. It'll be like kind of like running. For upper body, the best exercise that I can think of with no equipment is gonna be the push-ups. So if
Okay.
for women, just getting on your knees and then
Mhm.
just doing
And then just,
push-ups. If you don't have enough
yeah.
strength, you can do that. For guys, you don't have to go on the knees and you start just pushing. It'll build your triceps here and your shoulders,
Yeah.
your chest, and your pretty much a lot of your upper body will get built because of the push-ups. So
I like that.
push-ups, some lunges, and some squats,
And
Kat.
squats.
I'll help you.
Ooh. Okay. I like, now, I don't know if this is going to be the same, but how about for people that don't have the time to do a full workout? Do you have like 3 to 5 moves that they can do?
Right. So if you don't have enough time, but you still want to be physically active, the
Mhm.
idea that you had is going up the stairs, because that's
Yeah.
kind of like lunging as you go up,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
And then another thing that I tell my clients is that if they don't have enough time and they're strapped on time,
Mhm.
you still have to do errands, right? So could you
Yeah.
park your car a little bit further and carry the groceries back and forth, right? Because
Yeah.
you're carrying something heavy on both arms, I think, and then
That's
you're carrying
true.
it all the way go up and down. Cleaning your car, cleaning the house is an exercise. You can pretty much fit anything as a physical activity and make it a kind of a workout if you
Mhm.
if you strapped on time. If you have kids, you can carry your kid and start going like this.
Right? Oh, they'll love that too, right?
Yeah, they like that too. If you go
Yeah.
like this, it'll work your arms and it'll work your shoulders. So that's a good exercise. Gardening too.
Yeah.
If you do it long enough, it'll help you. So pretty much what I'm saying is kind of like, you make the most of what you have. So going to the groceries, going up and down the stairs a couple of
Mhm.
times, um,
Mhm.
doing the gardening, um, doing a variety of things in the garden can all add up, and that'll be your quote unquote exercise, and that'll help you in the long run.
Yeah, I like that, especially for people that are intimidated by
Mhm.
the term exercise or working out. That's just perfect way to just start, and then
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
little by little.
I,
Yeah,
I, I know people get intimidated at the gym, but if you do it little by little, if you start from home, you build
Mhm.
up some confidence, and confidence is a big issue that I
Yeah,
talk to my clients. Just build them up and start little by little, and once they see the results, they start believing in themselves. And when they start
yeah.
believing in themselves, they can go to the gym. They're more confident in their clothing, and they feel like they can take on the world. So that's kind of like part of what I do as a dietitian, as a strength coach.
I like that. Thank you
Mhm.
so. That's a lot of information. Thank you so much, and you
No
made it
problem.
sound manageable, not too intimidating, not too
Mhm.
overwhelming, which I love, and I'm sure everybody watching appreciates that. Now, if we have more questions or advice that you can give us, or if somebody wants to be coached by you, how do we get a
Yeah.
hold of you?
So I'm pretty active in Instagram. Instagram is my main platform. My Instagram handle is John Canlas RD. That's John Canlas, letter R and letter D. And then you can also email me through johncanlasrd@gmail.com. And I'm very active there on Instagram, and I usually answer a question within an hour or so. So hit
Yeah.
me up there, join the community, and hope to see you there.
Yeah, you guys definitely, you have to follow him on Instagram because he also gives us tips, free tips. Who does that?
Right? Right?
Yes, again, his information is on the screen. I hope you guys learned a lot today. I know I definitely did. I should be taking actual notes, but I'll be watching this again a couple of times. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Kat Iniba. Until next time.